Hello. Nice to see y'all too. I'm back. I wasn't gonna make this video. I don't even know how to start this video out, but you guys read the title, so y'all should know what I'm gonna talk about. So I took the Greyhound on my vacation trip to Florida, to Destin, Florida, to see my family. It was a 4-day trip, and I had fun, but a part of me was not acting in the way that I know that I should have been. I was really trying to be somebody that I no longer was, or even somebody that I just wasn't, or I no longer am, if that makes sense. Hanging around trying to fit in with my little cousins, my little cousins. I was older than everybody of my age that was down there. So the older, I have older cousins and aunties, of course, that are older than me. But as far as the young adults, the kids start, I was the oldest one. So instead of setting an example, I was kind of trying to fit in. And I knew that was wrong. And if you know, Greyhound buses, they usually, you're on the bus, you're sitting for a little bit. They have different stops where you can get off and, stretch your legs, smoke if you do, get food, use the bathroom if you don't want to use the bus that's provided on the bathroom that's provided on the bus. I hated using that bathroom. At one point, one of the men that used the bathroom left the toilet seat up, and guess who got splashed with pee water when the bus hit a bump and the lid fell down? Me. And I said ew, because I'm dramatic, DQ, and plus that's disgusting. It was all over my legs and I was wearing shorts. That was before I even got there. But that's not what this is about. It's not what this is about. This is about the fact that God had to get me together, mind you. I didn't expect this. He was giving me signs on the way back already. It was this one sign that said, Jesus saves, or it just said Jesus. I saw that twice. And then there was another sign I saw, and it was choose your path or something. I have a camera, and I took the picture of my camera, so I gotta get my camera out so I can show you guys. Hold on, let me find this camera, y'all, because this is a part of the story. Okay, I got it. I really want to put y'all down real fast. Yeah, let me put y'all down. Can y'all see me? Okay, cool. I'm turning it on. Give me a second. Okay, so we're going to be real fast about this. This is the picture. And if you can't see it well, it says Jesus on one side and it says sin. And there's two pathways. And I don't know exactly what the pathway says, but the scripture on it is Joshua 25:15, I believe. And it says, choose you this day whom you will serve. And that should have been my sign right there. Of course, I just took a picture of it because I'm like, oh my gosh, because I love God, I'm into God, blah, blah, blah. So I just took the picture of it. Do I have anything else that says anything else on here? I don't seem to have anything else. I'm looking through my camera. Just some little pictures I took with my cousins and whatnot. I don't think I see anything. Yeah, I don't see nothing. I did take some cool shots. This was a really cool shot. I don't know where we were. Probably Texas. But that was a really cool shot. Anyway, had to pull that out. So then there was this dude I was riding with. Very nice man. Very nice, cool man. Didn't know he was on every stop until I started peeping, and I had to look back and realize that he was almost on every stop since we stopped at Memphis. So basically, I think he was gonna approach me, but he didn't. But then that was the thing, I meant to ask him about that. But nevertheless, it was a dude that I was sitting by, and he was talking to me, and he was telling me how he just got out of jail, federal prison, federal prison and stuff. And he was just talking about how he sees the world in a different way than he did when he first got locked up. And I asked what he got locked up for, and he was just saying, well, I did something really bad. I was stealing. Hopefully I could save this in this video. He said he was selling fraudulent items, if I could say that, like selling, pew-pews and stealing and stuff like that. And the whole time when he was telling like his family, they was like, I would have never expected that out of you. And I'm just like, that sounds familiar, because when I used to do stuff, ain't nobody was ever expecting that when they found that out about me. But I think that's kind of with everybody that's not supposed to be doing the bad thing. Then he was telling me about karma. He was basically saying karma's a bee, because if it doesn't come after you, it's going to come after people around you. Even if the people around you didn't do anything or they have nothing to do with it, it's always going to come around. And it comes around when you have stopped doing the bad thing. Like, for example, he said when he finally was done selling the pew-pews and done reselling and doing stuff like that in the streets. Well, I don't know if he was in the streets, but doing that, it caught up with him. He got caught, or something, the matter happened. He had to go and serve his time for that. And I was just saying, well, actions have consequences. And he was just like, no, that's like, you're thinking like that. You're thinking like, literally, I'm thinking a whole different other way. Because mind you, this man's 25. I'm 22 years old. I never, like, the things he was telling me, my brain was hurting because it was so much information, for one. And for two, he said I might not understand everything until I'm like 30, 40 years old. That was two. But the fact of the matter is, he could have said, and he could have talked to anybody else on the bus. He talked to me. He sat by me and talked to me. I thought I was going to have to sit by myself. I was chilling. I was ready to blast my little music. Because, y'all, when I tell you I was listening to this music and it was not the good music, the whole way there and the whole way back, I was listening to whatever I wanted to, knowing that I should have been either talking to God, spending some time with God, or just, having, like, time to just thank the Lord that I made it. And through the trials and tribulations, like, I'm still here. Like, because stuff was happening all over the place on that trip. So, yeah. And so he was talking to me. He was saying how everything he talked, like, he was telling me he done been through, and I wrote some stuff down, because, y'all, it was a lot that he said. Ooh, okay, my phone's still recording. It was a lot that he said, and I was about to start crying. Like, it was like, what he was saying was real, like, that was some real stuff, because not everybody, first of all, what the heck? First of all, he didn't know me, I didn't know him. He was nice as heck to me. Like, he wasn't even on no green stuff, like, fake nice. You can tell when a person's authentic. But I also have developed, like, I wouldn't say trust issues, but I've learned to observe people. And he didn't seem like the type of man, because I'm so used to men in general being, like, talking to me because they like my body or they like my face. It's mostly for my body, because, I have a rump. Like, I have a shape. I have a lot of butt. So I thought that was probably going to be the reason why he talked to me. He was giving me word, and because God directed him to me, which I didn't know that because I was so out of alignment. But we're going to get into that. So what stuff he was telling me, he was telling me about the karma stuff. He went on about that, and then he said, I'm not going to find anybody that loves me until I love myself first. And that also, like, if I don't learn how to love myself, I'm not going to know how to love my family, my friends, my partner, anybody. And then the song How to Love by Lil Wayne was in my mind when I started writing that down. Forgive myself and forget the ones that have hurt me. And that, that's in the Bible. You're supposed to forgive the ones that hurt you and the Lord will forgive you, but also forgive yourself, because I think it's like bad if you don't love yourself, like, and I'm learning to love myself. I can't say I love myself fully, because sometimes I be wanting, and this was also confirmed because I'll be calling myself fat and stuff. Like, I mentioned to the male that I was talking to, I was like, yeah, I was like, he got bulky and how he looks skinny, but he's really strong and stuff. And I was like, well, I need to be doing walking and stuff, like talking to myself in a bad light. And I noticed that if I love myself, I wouldn't be doing that. I would love every part of me. Be myself and don't dim my light around people. I be having this. Sometimes when I get around people, instead of being the light, I want to try to dim myself. Around my cousins, I was doing the same thing. Instead of being the light, I wanted to be doing what they do, like try to do what they do. He kept telling me, he said this like twice. He was like, believe people when they show you who they are the first time. I have this problem. I be thinking that people are gonna change just because it's me. Like, no, people are gonna be the way they are. until they're ready to change. He told me I have a bad problem with not listening to myself. Yeah, it's bad. I don't listen to myself, and that's not good, because that could get me in trouble. Not listening to myself, because how do you trust yourself? How do you love yourself if you're not really willing to, like, bro? It all goes together. Like, literally, I told him everything is connected, and he said that's deeper than you think it is. You probably thinking like on a surface level. I'm thinking higher than that. Like, it was just so much. And the whole time he was talking to me, you know how some people can see in the spirit. I'm one of those people. And when I closed my eyes to try to get some sleep, because also my eyes was like tricking on me, like I was sleepy, and I was trying to like hold my eyes open when he was talking to me, and I was like fidgeting and stuff, and I couldn't even make eye contact with him because it was like 2, 3 in the morning. Who want to be listening to somebody tell me stuff that I need to hear? Mind you, I'm sleepy as well. And so I tried to lay down. I closed my eyes, and then I saw these boxes, and it was like a level up process, you know, in a game where you level up. And I told him that because at first I wasn't gonna tell him, but it kind of shook me, like it kind of freaked me out, because I'm like, you know a lot of what I've been through, because you've been through it. You don't even know me. This man was a stranger. I've never met this man in my life. And then the second time I closed my eyes, I saw angel wings. So I'm like, okay, God, clearly you connected me with this person. You sent this person to me as God would send an angel or a messenger to talk to somebody who he need to get their attention. Okay, the signs ain't work. On the road, when I was looking out the window, them little signs, I wasn't taking heed of what God was really trying to get me to pay attention to. Okay, I ignored that. You had to send somebody to talk to me. And it wasn't just for me, it was somebody else on the bus that he had to have the man to talk to too. It wasn't just me, but that was on a different bus. I'm just like, yo. And then I felt sorry about it, but obviously it needed to happen. And it's just so crazy, because I've never experienced nothing like that. That's how I know it was God. Like, my mind is still boggled from that. And then it started lightning and stuff. And then he was like, it's gonna be okay. Like, you don't need to be scared of that. Like, and I was telling him how my grandma used to be scared of thunder and lightning. And I told him about a story when I was in 5th grade, how my teacher told me it was the middle of the day. It was sunny outside at the beach, and her best friend got struck by lightning. And he was like, do you want that to happen to you? And I was like, no. He was like, then stop talking about it. Stop giving it fuel. Because he said, don't fear unless you want to attract it. And then he said, fear attracts death and something else. And that is so true. Because he said he used to be scared to die. He was saying, don't be scared to die. Just know that there's, you know, something on the other end of that, heaven or hell. He was saying mostly positive and negative. Heaven or hell. You either go down or you go up, basically. He also told me misery loves company. Because the bus driver, he was real nasty man. He would just talk to people nasty, and he would just like, he's miserable, so he's trying to have y'all, or all of us kind of give into it. And he was chill. Like, the bus driver at one point, he was driving crazy. He was driving like in and out. And I don't know if he was doing that to try to make everybody scared or what. But the person next to me, he was cool. Mind you, I'm holding on to his arm. I don't know this man. I was holding on to his arm like this because I was scared. He was like, you don't got no reason to be scared. We already here. Like, you already here. Like, I'll let you hold on to my arm, but you don't got a reason to be scared. And we was already there. Like what? Like, we was already there. And then he told me it's okay to be different. He told me a lot of stuff. I've never talked to this man. He says, I'm going places. That's what he told me. Stranger. He says, you're going places. God has favor on your life. Mind you, that's God's confirmation. And then what really confirmed it was when I saw 813 on the truck. I saw a number 813. I looked it up in Strong Concordance, and it said, I wrote it. It said, out of order, out of place, and that was for me. And I showed him, and he was like, he started laughing. He was like, that's all the confirmation you needed? Mind you, I'm sitting like girl, I'm sitting next to you. And also, I could tell that, I could also tell that he was being serious because he was making direct eye contact with me. He was sitting to my, he was sitting to my right. And you know, my right side, always when God talks to me, he always on this side of me. And that's how I should have known, but I wasn't really, you know. He was looking at me. Pretend y'all me, and this is how the man was when I was looking, because everything he said was hidden. But the faces, I make faces, like I'm very expressionate. So I'm like this. He was like this. God also said you need to be mindful of what you say to other people. And sometimes he would just stare at me and be like this. But his face and the authority behind, like his eyes, and he would say, this not even me, this God speaking through me right now. See, it ain't even me. And I believe that. Because what God is a certain authority. That couldn't be, come on, man. If you know God, you know how he speak. Then that made me realize this real. Not only is this real, like God real, not only is this real, like it's so many attributes to what I'm saying. Because I grew up always wanting a lot of things. But majority of the time I always wanted to grow up with a fairy tale man, like a man that really was respectful, really was caring and stuff like that. Not only was God speaking through him, but he allowed me to experience what a respectful, kind, and overall just a gentleman was. Because I've never experienced a real gentleman. Everybody I've dated, everybody I've been friends with, they're either been rude to me or whatever, especially from a stranger. Like, this man, he let me hold his arm when I was scared. He gave up our seat for me to be able to put my legs in the chair. Like, he was like, he knew I was sleepy, so he moved to the other chair. At first, he was gonna offer his legs. And then I was like, because I didn't know if I was trying to be considerate, because I didn't know if he had a girlfriend, an old woman, so I don't want to be doing that, which is just how I am in general, too. So he was like, oh, no, I was like, no, thank you. So he moved to the seat above me, and I got to stretch my legs out, and I got to sleep. And that was so nice, because not everybody gonna do that. Not everybody gonna be considerate of me not being comfortable with something. And then, like, that was just wonderful. Like, the whole experience. And I'm like, that ain't nothing but God, as I think about the things he said, as I think about the way that the conversation went. Because had I not been receptive and just told him, oh, okay, and ignored him, which was what I was gonna do, I wouldn't have got that information. And there's so many things just coming still that I'm probably not gonna get until I'm 30, 40 years old. But now that experience created wisdom. It made me more wise in a way too. It's like my mind, my perspective on a lot of stuff just shifted. Yes, it happened yesterday morning, mind you, and I'm still thinking about it. He was telling me everything. He was saying to go after what I want, to let my creativity die, like get back into what I used to do. Like, it's so many things. There's so many things. And I'm just grateful. I didn't listen to God, because he told me to go to church this morning and I didn't go. And you know what happened? I'm gonna mess it up for myself because I got a potential opportunity. And if I don't get right and do what I need to do and be obedient and listen to God, that opportunity may be presented to somebody else who's actually listening, who's not hard-headed. So my experience was fun, but that's the most, like, I didn't even want to split ways with dude. Like, I didn't even want to split ways with dude. He was so nice, and he taught me so much stuff. But if I want them type of people in my life, that's an example of what type of people I want in my life, male or female. But I feel like it was specifically a male, because I feel like the Lord wants me to see, hey, you can have this type of male in your life, friend, family, or a husband one day. And he was telling me how we was talking about everything, conspiracy theories. It was like I was speaking to my older self. The man was 25 years old, and he told me, he was like, you might be even speaking to another version of yourself from the future. Like, and I honestly, I ain't gonna say time travel ain't real, but the like what I be seeing, like, and then on top of that, man, I'm just, it sounded like I was talking to myself, but a different gender. Like, he was jamming the music like I do. He was very attentive. I make eye contact with people. I try to, but sometimes I don't really want to. But I used to do that. I used to make eye contact with people when I talked to them. I never really been doing that. But he was making eye contact. He was very attentive, and I'm very attentive. That's one thing about me. I'm very attentive. That was a lot. I was asking a lot of questions, so curiosity too. Like Tiana, like who's this character? Like Jasmine, like Belle, like Cinderella. Like I'm a princess. Like I'm a princess because I haven't met because the king is my father. We're my prince. But I'm not worried about a prince right now because my priorities have changed. I got stuff to do. I'm so excited. Like that experience was so beautiful. Like, and then my mama gave me this. It's called a blood clot. And it has scriptures, Psalm 91, 10, and 16. And because I've been curious, I'm gonna read them. Because I didn't get no word in me today. So why not? 10. Oh gosh, I needed this. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. Amen. And then this one. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. 16. These are so good. That's amazing. So I got one and I gave my auntie one. I'm itching. Faith, love, trust, hope, pray. Y'all. Y'all. This is what my scrubs say. I'm not even reading nothing crazy. That's what my scrubs say. Something else. On my keys it says, be strong and courageous. Joshua 1:17. I'm finding scriptures everywhere. Like, and then this is the best thing about my room. Don't mind myself. I have this big banner, so every time I feel away, I can always remember how thoughtful I am, how brave I am, how strong. This word, specifically, because it's the biggest word. Oh, and these two, strong and smart, they always pop out at me. Those words, strong and smart, always pop up to me because my dad has always told me, there's nothing wrong with Tamaya. There's nothing wrong with me. He always told me that. I'm strong. I've been through so much, and I'm very, very smart. Very smart. Like, the Lord has blessed me with so many talents, and I'm just ready to and also I've been hearing excuses. I have so many for no reason. I need to stop being full of excuses and do what I need to do, and stop excusing everything. Because it's this quote that I'll never forget. My middle school teacher said, excuses are used by the incompetent. I'm going to find it and I'm going to put it in here so y'all can read it. That is speaking to me right now, really loud. And it's the Lord getting me together, because I keep using excuses for why why I'm too lazy to go to church, why I stopped doing like my reading, my writing, my drawing, like stuff that I like doing, why I have stopped creating. I have all the time in the world to be creative, but want to have a boyfriend, but don't want to get what I need to get done, but want money. Like, what are we doing right now? There's opportunities at church. There's different blessings at church. There's different blessings around me, and I'm blind to them because I'm out of order with the Lord. Maybe not right now. I'm getting back in order now that He's brought it to my attention. But I'm going to forgive myself in Jesus' name. I'm not going to hold that against me no more, because at the end of the day, He's not worried about it. Why am I? I know to do better. Even when I didn't know to do better, now that He's brought it to my attention, I will do better. Because I'm hard as heck on myself. And I don't know why. I'm hard on myself. Very, very bad. I have it. I need to stop. Because God loves me for who I am. And how I am. He's just trying to teach me these things, because I have a lot of stuff that I have to steward well of when I get older. And he's trying to prepare me for it. What is that scripture? It's like much is required, more is given, much is required, something. Yeah, this is not easy. Because I say I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. My focus should be on him right now. And doing what he needs me to do. Because the way that the man I was talking to, he said, he was like, I was going to take a flight back, but the Lord wanted me to take the bus. So he already knew. I didn't know, but he knew. And a part of me was like, the Lord probably don't even want me listening to this. And I still listen to it. And then I wanted to act surprised when he had to get me together. But again, correcting is a form of love. The truth hurts. That's all he kept telling me. He kept telling me the truth hurts. But he said, don't be sad about it. Because a lot of people ain't having conversations like this. A lot of people don't get constructive criticism like I did. And a lot of people have gotten it, but they're not in the mental, they're not in the mindset, they're not able to even understand it. And I don't want to be like that. I want to be able to receive everything the Lord's trying to tell me. I'm just reading these words as I'm talking, like important, unique, adored, brave. I'm just reading them over because that is who I am. And I look up to people like Jaden. That was the young man's name that was talking to me on the bus. I look up to people like him because everybody on the bus was selfish and, mean and didn't want you to sit by them. And, that's what I'm thinking. But this makes me realize that there are people in the world that are just amazing people, that are like, I'm finna cry, like, I never thought that I would ever, like, the Lord would ever get my attention in such a way like that. It has so many levels to it. Like, it's amazing. And I know when I go back to church, I'm finna be on my knees, like, bawling my eyes out because, like, it's amazing. Like, it's even though it's like, yeah, he had to get you together, but it wasn't just punishment. It was also like, it wasn't just correcting. It wasn't punishment. It wasn't just correction. It was also advice. It was also respect. It was also like, it wasn't just, I'm gonna whoop you because you was bad. It was also, okay, you need to start doing what you need to do, and I'm gonna show you how you need to start do it. Like, the boy gave me steps, like, and he showed me the things he was telling me. He gave examples of them by doing what he said he needed me to do, that he recommended I start doing, by doing them with me. And I told myself, I want a husband like that one day. I want to be that type of person one day. I want to be around that type of people. Because now that I have an idea of what those type of people are, I don't think I can go back. I don't think I'm turning around no more. Because to meet a genuine person and to still be around people that are just nasty and miserable, I can't do it. And I'm not going to do it. Now that I have had. And I had to ask myself, is this boy real? Like, is he real? I kept asking myself that. Is he real? He's real. He's a real person. It's so crazy. I'm recording on my knees. Like, my knees are right here. I'm recording with my legs, my knees. I don't even know what to say. Y'all, brave. strong, thoughtful, smart. You are. Maybe this will give somebody encouragement. God is definitely real. And I used to be the one to read, like, the people used to talk about God and be telling about their testimonies and how God had to, like, get their attention by bringing people that they don't know to talk to them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What do they call them? I think they call them destiny helpers. Mm-hmm. Angels, if you will. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just came in contact with one. Mm-hmm. So, I don't even know how to feel. Like, I'm just blessed. I have favor on my life. And I'm not here to brag. I ain't here to I'm just I ain't even tell my folks. I ain't tell the church people yet. Like, I ain't tell my church people, the church family yet. I ain't tell nobody but y'all. I'm telling y'all first. Because God, he don't be playing when it comes to his people. Like, it's either I get back in alignment, or it's gonna be death, a life I ain't never want, or maybe even jail, or more, even other stuff. There ain't gonna be nothing, because ain't nothing good out of God's alignment. It ain't nothing good outside of God's will. It ain't nothing better than being in his will, because what's outside his will is nothing. It's nothing there. And I believed him when he said that. I don't want to die. I'm not ready to go yet. I'm not ready to be in jail. What I was hearing him say, nah, that ain't my type of life. I don't want that. I ain't ready to live a life that wasn't intended for me. He told me I'm going to be somebody. But I knew that since I was younger, but I started doubting it when he told me. You don't do that. I knew who I was going to be since I was younger. I told y'all a few weeks ago, almost a year ago, who I knew I was going to be. Not who I knew, but who that I knew at an early age that I had potential. Mm-hmm. Is this still recording? I hope. I hope whoever watching this take heed to this. This is just me telling my testimony. I didn't even expect to go through that. I expect the Lord to get me together right then and there. It wasn't necessarily a smack on the back. It was a level up, a blessing. It was correction, but it wasn't even what the normal person would consider a correction. It was connection. Me talking to God through somebody's body, but not even me talking to God, listening to God. Because I have ignored him so much when he was trying to get my attention. Even when a situation happened when the Lord was telling me to do something, my cousin, he got out of, we were playing Uno on the trip. Sorry, I had to make sure it was quiet. And my cousin said something about him, so he stopped playing the game. And then instead of walking up to him and saying, "Are you okay?" I said, "So-and-so, are you okay? Why you got out the game?" And then I kept asking him, and he was just like, I was like, "You don't want to play the game no more?" He was just looking like he was upset. And then the same cousin that talked to him about, like, was talking to him rude said, "Oh, if you keep asking the man, does he want to play? If he wanted to play, he would have been over here." And I kind of just brushed it off. But he told me that was my opportunity to go talk to my cousin and tell him that I cared about him, and did he need to talk about anything, and just, what is making you feel this way as a big cousin. But I let that, I kind of just brushed it off, because he felt belittled at the time. And then I was like a normal person would just blame it on hormones because he's 14, but it don't be that. because that can be a cover of what's really happening. Because I've been that age before, and that's all that people around me used to blame stuff on. Oh, she has this, she has that, like, you know. And I'm just like, oh, whole time it's because you just talked about me and I have feelings like a normal person would. I'm thinking of something else to say, y'all. Like, I'm taking my time with this video because I usually rush them. The Lord loves every individual. Everybody has a promise. He promised everybody. This is just my testimony. I don't see this as correction. I see it as a wake-up call for me. Because I was way off. Way too far back for him to have to get somebody to be in my face and talk to me. Not like in my face, but real, like next to me. Chill. But yeah, y'all. Just don't play with God. This is just my testimony. Don't play with him. Don't allow yourself to get as far back as I was. Because, man. Yeah. But I'll see y'all later. I pray that this testimony touched you. I pray that you just, I don't know. Don't get far. Don't get as far back as I did when it comes to God. Don't get out of his will. It'll be okay. You'll be okay. Because with that information, I'm okay. Just got to get back where I was. And if you got to get back where you was too, let's get it. Let's do it. Because at the end of the day, he has our back no matter what. It don't matter how much correcting he got to do with us. You are his and you will forever be his. And he will be yours no matter what. But stay safe. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Hopefully the next one won't be as serious. Alright, y'all. Bye. I didn't do my thumbnail, but it don't matter. See y'all later.